YNW Melly announces his release date. 23-year-old YNW Melly has been locked behind bars for the last 3 years of his life, doing everything he and his legal team can to beat this case, and literally being threatened with a life penalty multiple times. YNW Melly was looking at losing his whole entire life after being blamed for the passing of his two friends. But somehow, by the grace of God, YNW Melly and his legal team were able to slip their way out of this one, and now YNW Melly is finally looking at coming back home. The rap game was a different place when YNW Melly was a part of it, and as a YNW Melly fan, I must say I'm actually very interested to see what he brings to the table once he's released. You're probably wondering how YNW Melly and his legal team managed to beat this case. Well, there's actually a lot that goes into it. Luckily for you, after doing some deep research, the Lime Report team came across some legit documents. After finding these super classified documents, we can finally say we know the truth, and according to YNW Melly's recent message, he should be coming home very soon. Like I mentioned already, there's a lot to get into today, so be sure to stick around and watch this video until the very end, as we get into things one detail at a time. Trust me when I say you won't want to miss a thing. Thanks for stopping by today and visiting us at Lime Report. We post daily celebrity updates and news that you really should know about if you're a fan. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and comment keyword Melly to enter a chance at winning our brand new iPhone giveaway. One lucky viewer is picked at the end of each month. Now, let's jump into this video and take a closer look at YNW Melly announces his release date. YNW Melly has unfortunately lost the last 3 years of his life for a crime that he truly never commit. But I must say, Melly was actually very close to having to pay for this crime with his own life, and he's very lucky things didn't end up going that way. Luckily for Melly, his hard-working legal team was able to figure things out, and to be honest, it's kinda genius how they played this whole thing out. There's so much to get into about his legal team's strategy on getting Melly released from prison, and it's actually very interesting. For those of you who don't know, YNW Melly was originally locked up with his old friend YNW Bortland. These young men were arrested about 3 years ago and have been charged with taking the lives of their own two friends, who were also a part of the YNW crew. This was the confusing thing about the whole entire case from the very beginning. Everyone had trouble understanding why YNW Melly and Bortland would set up their own two friends. It made no sense, and even law enforcement was kinda struck by it. But for some reason, the more evidence law enforcement found on the case, the more things started to tie into YNW Melly and Bortland being guilty. There was literally so much evidence pointing towards them being guilty that they've been fighting this case up until today. But finally, after 3 long years, things are starting to go in the direction of Melly and Bortland. You gotta remember, this whole scene literally took place 3 years ago. There's honestly been little hope that any of these guys would actually beat the case, and at one point, literally everyone thought YNW Melly was being charged with a life penalty. That means the only way Melly would be able to pay for his crimes is by paying with his very own life. This situation rarely occurs, and to think 23-year-old rapper YNW Melly would be facing it is ridiculous. Thankfully, Melly's legal team was able to work their way out of that, and now are closer than ever to proving YNW Melly's innocence. This is the perfect moment for YNW Melly, and he's left a message for all his friends, family, and fans, saying he'll be back in the game soon enough. Making a bunch of new music and collaborating with artists he's always dreamed of working with. YNW Melly was only in the rap game for a limited time, but if you paid close attention, you would know how much influence he's had on the modern-day sound of music. YNW Melly is a young legend in the music space and has literally collaborated with names as big as Kanye West, which he obviously plans on working with again. YNW Melly, at only 20 years old with only a few months in the music industry, literally crushed it and hit the top of the charts fast. His talent was recognized by many, and it was nice to see a young artist receive as much respect as YNW Melly did. Ever since YNW Melly got locked up, it was all downhill from there, and being a YNW Melly fan, I was worried we'd never get to receive any new music from him again. But finally, YNW Melly is being released from prison, and this is awesome news.